see your selection of proofgrade material there. Fantastic.
Yeah. All right, we'll be starting pretty soon.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. All right, I think we're live.
Fantastic.
Here we are. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ellen, and I'm the social media manager here at Glowforge. I'm here with our CEO, Dan Shapiro.
Hi.
We've got a lot of things planned today, and I'm so excited that you're here to join us. We're going to be answering a whole ton of questions, doing a bunch of prints, showing you some really cool stuff, so I'm ready to get started.
Yeah, we should point out we've got Justine on camera. We've got Shell, who's working on design for us, and we'll actually be designing some stuff and running the printer live and in real time. And then we've got a whole team back behind the scenes who's answering questions for you, who's taking those questions, putting them up on the screen so we can see them, so we can answer your questions. They're going to follow up afterwards if we don't get a chance. And so anything that you want to know about Glowforge, anything we can help you with, we want to be sure that you have all the information you need to make the right decision about if Glowforge is right for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Where should we get started?
Well, we should make our first print. That's what the people are here to see.
I think so. Let's jump right in. So, Shell, am I to understand that we're going to start out by designing something in PowerPoint? Let's take a look. One of the things that's amazing about working with a Glowforge 3D laser printer is that you can use almost any design tool. Some of our most popular tools are software like Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape, which is free, CAD software like Fusion 360 or SketchUp, but we've got folks who use just about everything. And in this case, we're actually going to design something, Shell is going to design something from scratch with Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, PowerPoint is not normally known as something that you use for like making coasters and fabricating things from scratch, but it's really that simple. So you see, she's got right now some text I see. We've got some initials, ERS. Who's ERS?
I just made up someone's name.
ERS, all right. So we'll be accepting suggestions in the text chat as to what ERS stands for. Your nominations are welcome. And so we've got ERS, and this is going to be a luggage tag.
It is.
So you've got the square, or the rectangle, which gives us the outside. Yeah. We've got the circle, which is the hole, that's the cutout. And the way that the Glowforge software works, each color represents something different. So you can have a color be cut, you can have a color be engraved, you can have a color be a hairline that traces around the outside. And whatever you choose, you're going to be able to use the Glowforge software to say whether it's a cut, whether it's an engrave, a 3D engrave, a hairline. And that may sound complicated. It's so simple. It's going to take 2 seconds.
Crazy. As soon as I can find my desktop.
Yeah.
So Shell just saved this as a PDF. And the magic of the Glowforge software is that any software that can save as a PDF can be used as your creative tool. So we've got PowerPoint. She just dragged and dropped this or uploaded and to go bring this into the software. And you can see there's the ERS, there's the rectangle, there's the cutout, there's the extra background shape, and she said ignore. So we've got a cut and we've got an engrave. We need to go put a piece of material in.
We do.
So we've got a beautiful piece of, I believe this is Proofgrade cherry. And when we put, I'm going to use the Glowforge Pro here. When I put this in the Glowforge Pro and close the lid, the onboard cameras actually take a picture of the material. And if it's Proofgrade material, can automatically identify the material and do all the settings for you. So it's ready to go. There's nothing to dial in, no power, speed, all that. You can do it if you want to. They're available as manual settings, but it's all automatic. So we put that in, it takes the picture, and let's see what it looks like on Shell's screen.
All right.
We've got that white piece of material, and Shell has now dragged the ERS, the luggage tag, right into place there. And the Glowforge is auto-focusing. Again, it is totally automatic. The settings, the focus, everything you need so that the print comes out perfectly every time. So that autofocus sets it up so that all Shell has to do is drag it into place and push print. You can see it's got the material in the corner. It says medium cherry hardwood. She set the initials to engrave. Do you want to show them how you set that? You just click and there's your choice. Engrave, cut, score. You can pick standard definition, high definition, or draft, depending on if you want the best quality or if you just want to print really quickly. Yep. And it looks like this is just going to take 3 minutes.
Easy peasy.
Magic time.
That's great.
Ellen.
Time to go push the button. But I wanted to ask you a little bit more about print times. I know we get a lot of questions about, how long do things take to print? How long are my prints going to take? And I know you've got some information about that.
Yeah, traditional 3D printers are incredibly slow, and that's probably why people are really concerned about it. If you're printing something out of with a traditional 3D printer, you're building up layer after layer of plastic, and it can take hours or days to finish. This is going to take 3 minutes.
All right.
So I push the button, it starts the printing process. The actual engraving is going to take about 2.5 minutes, and then the cut is super fast. It's going to take about 30 seconds. Now this is a very small, simple print. But what we found is that the average Glowforge project, the average print that our customers do, takes about 12 minutes. Some can take as long as 3 hours if you're doing an enormous high-resolution engrave, you're doing something with a Pro pass-through. Some can take just a minute or two, but overall, the average time is about 12 minutes. And if you want to see what that looks like, we actually have kind of a special treat here. We have a camera inside the Glowforge.
Oh.
And so I think we can cut over and show you what's going on inside. It looks like, oh, it's a little off to the side, so it's hard to see. But I'll tell you what you're looking at. You can see the laser going back and forth and pulsing thousands of times a second. Maybe we can get the mobile camera over here a little closer to see it from the top. And each pulse is marking the surface of the material. Now you may notice there's a kind of shadow in the background that is that's kind of a discoloration. That's a normal part of the printing process with the 3D laser printer. But what happens is proof-grade materials actually have a masking on the surface. And when you peel that off, all the discoloration is removed. So when we're done, we're going to take that off and you're going to see the beautiful natural hardwood underneath.
Yeah.
So while we're doing that, do we have any other questions?
I mean, we always get a lot of questions about materials, and you mentioned earlier that you could do manual settings. So when we were kind of quickly going through the settings, I know we were talking about Proofgrade, how it automatically loads it, but what does it look like to create settings for materials that aren't Proofgrade?
Sure. So if you're bringing your own materials, let's say you go outside and you find a beautiful river rock and you want to engrave it, or you've gone to the local wood shop or big box store and bought some wood. What you can do is start out with some of the designs that some of the settings that we've already used. You can say, let's try the maple settings, and then you can increase or decrease the power and speed until you find what looks great for you. Some materials like stone is really easy. It's super flexible. Metal, if you're engraving metal, there's lots of settings that'll work. Others can be really finicky, like the right amount of power to get through a new piece of wood or material. So it really depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, we're almost done already. It goes so quickly.
That's awesome. I know, it goes by so fast.
And I see somebody was asking about, does it print on wood, which we're doing right now. Who's asking that? Veronica was asking, does it print on wood? And Jerry was saying, does it print on leather? I'll let you take that one.
Yes, it does print on leather. That's one of the most popular materials that Glowforge owners print on. I see incredible prints from leather. I know one of our content designers made this leather bag, custom leather bag for you, that was perfectly designed to fit everything that you need into it. You can create such incredible custom things. I see leather bracelets all the time. Earrings are a really popular one. But that kind of leads me into another question that we get a lot, which is, how do I use Glowforge for my small business?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And for the record, I made a really neat bag that had like a pouch and a couple of pockets in it. And then our designer made this amazing bag that was like accordion fold and had 3 separate pouches and a secret thing so you could put a Bluetooth tracker in it, like everything else. You know, so it is possible as a complete amateur who's never done woodworking to design something. But if you are a master, this can transform your craft. Which leads right into that question about creating a business about what you do. We have seen thousands of businesses created with a Glowforge. It has launched Kickstarter campaigns, it has created Etsy and eBay stores, it brings people to the craft fair. One of our customers was telling us that it was his lifelong dream to be an artist, but it wasn't until he got his Glowforge that he thought it was possible. And he recently had a one-person show in Santa Monica where one of his heroes, the person who did the lighting design for Pink Floyd laser shows, came by and bought one of his clocks.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
This is a technology that takes whatever your excitement is, whatever your spark of creativity is, whatever it is that you have in your mind that the world might like to see, and lets you bring it into the world and lets you do it quickly enough that you can actually create a business about it by automating things that otherwise would take hours and hours by hand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of quick.
Yeah, exactly. Time to pull our luggage tag. All right.
So I mentioned that there's this protective paper coating off of it. It takes just a second to peel off by hand, but I'm fond of using duct tape. If got some Gorilla Tape right here.
Here that is.
And-
And yeah, so that's just like a perfect clean pull. It fits perfectly. That's one of my favorite parts. Secret, Dan's favorite part is peeling off the protective coating. Mine is pushing the button, so usually we trade off, but he stole the button push from me this time.
I'll let you have the next peel.
Okay.
Fair is fair.
All right, yeah, I'll take
Look
one
at
from
that.
you.
This is that gorgeous cherry hardwood that comes with the Proofgrade paper on it. Here, let's peel
Sometimes
off
you
the
get
back
a
as
little
well.
stuck on the back, yeah.
Because there's paper on both sides to protect both sides of the printing process. And check
Yeah.
that out.
And it's just beautiful right out of the Glowforge.
Yeah, we actually treat all the material with a laser compatible finish. We sand it. So, once upon a time I used to do woodworking in the shop. Then I had kids and there was no time for woodworking. But once upon a time I used to. And the most painful part was finishing. Sanding and applying spray finish and going over coat after coat. And you'd feel like you were done, and actually it could take as long to finish a product as start. And that's why we created the Proofgrade line of materials, because they are beautiful from the moment you're done.
Absolutely. Well, enough about Proofgrade. The people want to see glass and slate and stone
My
and
gosh,
metal
yes.
and
we have never done this on a live stream before.
yeah, no, we
This is
haven't.
brand spanking new. So, let's see, where do we have our glass and slate materials?
They are right there, right next to Shell.
Look at
Put
this.
them both in at the same time.
Yes.
All right.
Take a
So-
look at this.
Yeah, we're going to show you a little bit more close up what those two look like. So this is a slate coaster, similar to stone, something you'd find outside in your backyard. And this is a glass coaster. We get a ton of questions about whether or not we can print on glass. So I'm really excited to show this here on the live stream now.
So I'm going to put these both into the Glowforge Pro. You can see we have a Pro and a Basic. I'm going to put these by the camera this time because I learned my lesson, so we'll be able to see them a little better. We're actually going to print them both at once.
I think we're going to flip the coaster over on
Oh,
the
we're
glass
engraving
one so that
the
we can
back.
see. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Just like a little trick, right? That you just learn while.
And so we're going to engrave the mirror image and then turn it over, and you'll see it through the glass.
Yeah. It'll
Amazing.
look incredible. Yeah.
So how are we going to do the design for these?
I'm going to use our monograph from earlier.
Oh, great!
Okay.
Excellent.
And take this really quick and flip it.
Okay.
Okay, so you're doing a mirror image, since we're printing it backwards on here, and then you just said copy, right?
Yeah, I can just hit copy. And
Control C.
over here.
Or Command C for you Mac fans, and then Control V or Command V,
Yeah. Paste
and
it right
poof,
into the software.
that's it, and it
Easy.
appears,
Easy
and it's ready to go.
All right.
And so we're on the Livestream Pro. You can see Shell can actually pick from any Glowforge that she has permission to print to. So if your business scales, if you're in a school or makerspace, you have multiple units, it's really easy to pick which one you're printing to.
Absolutely.
She's dragging those into place forward on the slate and backward on the glass.
Yeah. Perfect.
And so we're actually doing two completely different prints on two completely different materials with two completely different settings. And Shell's already done, like we talked about before, experiment a little bit to figure out what the right numbers are. What you didn't see is once you've done that, you can save those settings. So then forever you can say slate coaster.
Yeah,
and you don't
I
have to
know
type
what
those
mine
in, you don't have to keep notes about them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so there we go, slate.
Perfect. Setting that as.
And if this comes out, the way we hope, it's going to be so beautiful. We'll do it over and over again. We'll make hundreds
Yeah.
of them. We'll sell them on the internet. It'll be incredible.
Yeah, no, I always get questions on social like, how many of this one thing can I print? Like the other day I got a question about pens. Someone wanted to make advertising with their pens. They wanted to brand some anodized aluminum pens, and they were like, oh, how many can I fit? And I was like, well, as many as you can put inside the bed. You can just print all day, however long you need to just create all those pens to brand your business, to sell on Etsy, or just for a family reunion. So actually, Justine was making something for her family reunion. She was
Justine behind the camera,
Justine
yes.
behind the camera, was making something for her family reunion. She had some lobster things that she put on everything.
Brilliant.
So it was like a chowder party. So I know that she was doing the same thing, a whole ton of the same print to give away as some gifts. So
That's incredible.
yeah.
All right. So right now it's auto-focusing and preparing the print. And I think this one's going to take a little longer because this is actually doing two big engravings a little ways apart. It's going to go back and forth and cover the entire area. Shell, do we know how long it's going to take? 15 minutes. All right. So I stole the button push last time. I think it's your turn.
All right.
Go ahead.
My favorite part, So easy, there's just one button, you just push the button and your print gets started.
Exactly. And you know, I have my Glowforge at home sitting right next to my computer, so I will fire off a print. I'll sit and do email, I'll work on a new project, I'll design the next version, whatever I'm working on, whatever it is. It runs quietly next to me and away it goes. Speaking of quietly, we do get a lot of questions about how loud the Glowforge unit is.
Yeah.
It's a little quieter than our household vacuum. So it's hard to say exactly because it depends on whether you're using the compact filter or not, and we can talk about that in a minute. You have the choice of venting through a window or using the compact filter to put it anywhere. But in either case, it's going to be similar to a microwave, a little quieter than a household vacuum. It's easy to work next to it, but you'll definitely notice it's running.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I guess let's jump to the compact filter and talk about that a little bit more.
Should we get the inside view first, though?
Oh, yeah,
Can we
let's
get a quick,
cut to the inside.
No, okay. We don't have the Glowforge camera view running.
Oh, no.
But it's going and printing the slate right now, and then it's going to turn around and do the glass. You can see that print going on.
Well, since we're here and we're looking at this view from the top down, I know we get a lot of questions about looking into the Glowforge and kind of what a pro class laser is versus a plus or a basic laser.
Yeah.
A lot of people are concerned about, you know, having Glowforges in their home, and is this okay around students and children? So what does that kind of look like? Yeah,
the Glowforge Basic and Plus are a Class 1 laser device. That's the same as a DVD player, the same as any sort of safe home laser, a CD player. These are all Class 1 laser devices. So it is safe to use around children, it's safe to use around pets and the like. You have to follow the safety rules, you know, like a blender or a microwave. You want to read all the manual instructions and follow them carefully. But it is designed for the home and designed for the school. The Glowforge Pro is a Class 4 laser device, which means one person needs to read the safety training material that's included with the Glowforge Pro and be responsible for operating it safely. In both cases, kids shouldn't use them without supervision, but kids love to use them with supervision, and it works incredibly well. Oh, this reminds me. One of our customers, Troy the Maker, sent us a video talking about how he uses his Glowforge for his business and for his kids, and I think we have it. Is it possible that we could cue that up and run that for folks to see?
Yeah, I'm so excited about Troy. He makes the best videos on YouTube, and he does some really incredible projects all the time with his Glowforge, and I know he's got a little daughter who loves to push the buttons. Yeah, they have so much fun together, and it's really great getting to talk to our customers through social media and hear all the incredible things they're going. So I think we're going to cue up Troy the Maker now so that you guys can watch a little bit of him.
Hey, what's up? Troy the Maker checking in, and I'm gonna tell you why I bought the Glowforge. The number one thing is they got the proof grade material. The proof grade material is super dope. As soon as you put the proof grade material in the machine, it got these QR codes on there that the camera automatically scans, and it puts the settings in for that material. The second thing is the camera. The camera is super duper dope. On your computer, your phone, your iPad, and you can move your design around on the material. So you don't cut somewhere that it don't need to be cut, or engrave somewhere that it don't need to be engraved. And also so you can use as much of the material as you can. The third thing is the button. I like pressing the button because when that button lights up, you already know it's time to create something. But my daughter, she likes pressing the button. Like if she around and that mother light up, she's gonna try to run to go press that button. Can I press the button, Daddy? Can I press the button? And I let her press the button. Of course I let her press the button. The fourth thing that I like about it is the referral links. The referral links are super duper dope. So if somebody uses your referral link, they can save some money and you can get some money. And if you get enough referral links, you can basically get your machine paid for. So those are some things that I wanted to share with you on the reasons why I bought the Glowforge and some things that I really, really like about the Glowforge. Thank you.
Troy is so incredible. I love watching his videos. He is absolutely amazing. But I noticed that in the video,
and if our customers want to see more of Troy, they look for Troy the Maker on YouTube?
Troy the Maker on YouTube. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But he was talking about trace, and I know we've got a trace project coming up. So while we're working on our glass and slate coaster prints, let's do some trace.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
What are we going to do for trace? We're going to make a wooden coaster, is that right?
Yes, Absolutely.
All right. And are you our artist in residence?
I am
for
the
this?
artist in residence. I know you're not comfortable drawing, so
All right, let's get up here.
I'm ready.
you know I'm terrible. My handwriting is a disaster.
I mean, I'm not an artist either, but the Glowforge definitely makes it easy. So why don't you talk a little bit about what Trace is and kind of how the camera works? And so I know when I first started, this was one of the features that I was the most excited about too.
Absolutely. You want me to stall for time while you draw?
Yes,
I got
do.
it.
Perfect.
So the idea with Trace is that the camera on board the Glowforge can actually transform your drawing, your artwork, your black and white images into a digital design that you can print. You can print it at normal size. You can shrink it down because everything looks better when it's little, tiny, high resolution. You can zoom it up so you can make an enormous version. And best of all, you can copy and paste and make literally dozens of whatever it is. I was at an event recently and somebody who's a jewelry maker came up. She had these amazing earrings that were like interlocking squares. And she said, you know, would it be possible for me to make these on a Glowforge? Because I'm making them with a jigsaw right now and it's really challenging. And I said, not only is it possible for you to make this on a Glowforge if you owned one, you can do it right now. So pulled out a Sharpie, just like Ellen's doing here, drew her earrings, put the design in the Glowforge, copied it, shrunk them down, made a copy of it, and actually printed those earrings on the spot with somebody who'd never used a Glowforge before.
Yes,
what have we got? Be strong. Oh, that's great.
I've got Be Strong Like Coffee. So what I did is I just traced the top part of this coffee cup down here so that when we flip it over, we can put it on there just like a coaster and use that. So now all we have to do is load it into the Glowforge.
All right. So Be
right
Strong Like Coffee, and we'll put this in. As I mentioned, you can have multiple Glowforge machines running at the same time. You can control them all from the same computer. So we can go over and Shell can set up the second print. So while we're still printing our slate and glass, we're going to be strong like coffee.
Here
all
we
right.
go.
So the process is really simple here. First, you draw a square around the thing you want to trace. Mm-hmm. Then you click to indicate that you want to cut. That's it.
Perfect.
That's it. That's the whole thing. You're done.
So easy.
So you can do it right there on top, or you can shrink it down, or you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. I think we're going to make a little mini micro thing so it goes a little faster.
Okay.
You can see it's already set to engrave and cut because it's proof grade material, all the settings are ready. You just draw it, you put a circle around it, you click to cut, you hit print. That's it.
I didn't do a very good job of tracing the outside, so we've got a little extra on the side. So
it's going to be beautiful.
You made it.
Yes, I did make it, and it is all mine and very personalized, and I love that. So that's one of my favorite features about the Glowforge is being able to create gifts for all of my family and friends that are completely personalized and just, you know, incredible. So actually, there was something that I was working on a couple days ago, which is all the glass engraves that we did.
Ooh.
So over here,
oh wait, before we do that, we can't forget the other fun part, pushing the button.
Oh, that's right. Oh, do you want the button push?
It's yours.
Okay.
This is your design.
Thank you.
So we're going to see it's going to come over, it's going to autofocus, it's going to use the settings that it has automatically from the proof grade material. It's all automatic. We call it the button because there is literally only one button on the machine. There is no way to mess this up. It lights up, you push it, magic happens.
Yep, it makes it so easy.
Back to glass.
All right, talking about my glass. So I actually monogrammed my own initials.
Oh my
So we've got some
I have not
pretty
seen
cool
this
things.
before.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and this is that technique that we're using over here on the coaster where you engrave the back so the front has this, I don't know if you can see, but it's like you're looking through a layer. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this
and I
is
did
incredible.
the same thing with a plate. So yeah, just engrave the back of it. They're just like tips and tricks that you learn.
Okay, I literally bought a dozen of these plates yesterday for our house. Like exactly the same one, Duralex.
Oh, perfect.
And I didn't think of monogramming them. How could I miss this?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the best thing about working with a Glowforge because there's so many ideas from the Glowforge community, from other folks like you and I who are using their Glowforge every day.
Yeah.
We should talk a minute about the Glowforge community.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited about that. So as a social media manager, I get to talk to our customers every single day, and I get to see what they're doing on social media, the ideas that they have, and I'm always blown away by the incredible ideas that people come up with, things I would never think of. And one of those kind of companies that I'm really excited to feature today is Fairy Doors. That is, I know this is one of your favorites as well. We actually have some fairy doors on set, and I'm really excited to show them because one of the doors has a giraffe on it, and giraffes are my favorite animal.
Oh my gosh.
When it came in, I was ecstatic. I'm so excited.
Okay, so for context, I have to say, I discovered fairy doors when I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I saw this beautiful, tiny, little, multicolored door that with the hashtag Glowforge. And I thought to myself, surely this is a mistake, because I cannot imagine somebody creating something this incredibly beautiful and complicated. Or maybe the Glowforge was just used to like cut out the outside. No. Take a look at this piece right here. The creators have actually used the 3D engrave capabilities of the Glowforge to sculpt the door, the hinges, the giraffe, the basis. As I understand, they even used a photograph of an old barn that they took in England to create the texture of the door. And I think they sent us some video so we can actually hear about their business from them.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited to watch this video too. I haven't seen it, so I'm excited. All right, let's cut to fairy doors.
Hi, I'm Chris Pallas.
And I'm Kevin Zerwacki.
And we make the fairy doors with Blue Toucan Studios. When we first bought our Glowforge, we thought it'd be doing 2, maybe 3 different tasks and doing them regularly. But more than a year later now, there's perhaps 100 different tasks that we have it do for us that we never would have even thought of doing without having this device in our studio. As artists, one of the things that you always think about is when you're making anything, you buy a new tool and you want that tool to do its job. And with the Glowforge, that tool has superseded everything that we ever hoped it would be.
Yes. Most of my design I just do on my iPad, so I can go to a coffee shop and I can go from sketch to finished vector drawing that the laser can read in an afternoon.
Mm-hmm. I mentally, having never used a laser before, thought it was going to be super technical. It got to the point where you just go, like, I have an idea, I just want to try something. I had an idea to do a picture of the moon on a door. And so literally I spent 20 minutes hunting down some reference off of NASA. I picked out a pixie frame, I put it in there, I threw it over to the Glowforge, and I just said, we'll see. I go off and I set it all up and I hit go. And then the Glowforge is another member of our studio, just plugging away, doing its job while I can move on and do other things.
It is basically the most fun toy we've ever had.
It really is.
That was so awesome. But yeah, so we've got a couple more doors on set that are absolutely incredible. But this is just one example of the really incredible businesses that I see with people using their Glowforge. I know of a customer who uses their Glowforge to make pillboxes even. So it's just the ideas that people have are limitless, and the number of materials you can use are also never ending.
These are just so incredible. I don't even know if I can explain how gorgeous this is. Sometimes these things, like, they look amazing from a distance, but then in person you see them, and this is just something else.
You're having too much fun on set.
Oh my goodness, yes. All right, we'll put these away because we've got more stuff to do. We've got our Be Strong Like Coffee coaster almost finished.
Yeah, it's finishing.
We've got we've already got our slate. The glass is running. We pulled out the slate so we could show you.
Yeah, we pulled out the slate while we were watching the Fairy Doors video, so we've got some other examples.
So you can see the engrave here on the coaster. This is also one that we did before. You can see what a full edge-to-edge looks like. Slate is just a joy to engrave because it goes really fast. It's easy to go print a bunch of them. It almost feels like cheating. No, it does feel like cheating. In fact, I was going over to a friend's for a dinner party, and at the last minute I was like, oh my gosh, like, I need something better than just a bottle of wine. And I felt kind of cheesy, and I threw 4 coasters in, and I engraved something that I knew was a picture that the couple liked, and was like, I told you I was gonna make something with the Glowforge here, and I felt really lame. Because engraving a coaster can be as simple as just like, here's a picture, plop. Push the button, and it finishes. And they were so excited.
I know, people love it.
Oh my gosh, it was, and these are coasters that cost like $1 a piece on Amazon. You can go buy the tiles and stick the feet on yourself, and then you're gonna pay 29 cents at like tiles for less. It's so inexpensive, it's so simple, and it is so meaningful when you can create something like that with your own 2 hands and with the help of your Glowforge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I heard our print finish up, just like Be Strong Like Coffee.
All right,
so I think we're gonna pull that out.
So we have the full size, and then we shrunk it down and did a little mini.
Yeah, just to kind of show how you can shrink the design, or you can copy the design over, how you could draw something and then print it over and over and over again.
Your turn.
So, all right, here I go.
So this one I think we also did on cherry. We sell Proofgrade materials in a whole host of materials. There's maple, there's walnut, there's cherry. We've got beechwood, which is a lighter one, oak, which has some more grain. So you can really pick the design that works best for you. And the detail is really astonishing. This is actually our draft mode. This is one of the fastest, but a Glowforge can print it up to 1,355 lines per inch, higher resolution than a traditional laser printer. So you can get that precise precision detail for things like the fairy doors.
Yeah,
and in fact, we've got a whole host of other stuff that we could show.
Yeah, let's
should we
look
take
at
a second?
materials. Yeah.
Oh, let's show some of the items here and some of the materials that you can print with.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is our table of some of the magical things that we've kind of created here in the office. So a lot of people have questions about, what kind of materials can we print on, and this is kind of one of the best places because we've got like paper here, leather.
While we're showing paper, we also should show the amazing watercolor in the back.
Oh yeah.
We one of our artists created this. It is paper overlaid with watercolor, and it is stunning.
Yeah, absolutely. And right next door is the cardboard globe.
Oh, so, yeah, to the left.
Cardboard is one of the really, like the materials that I see one of the most often too. Like people love to prototype in cardboard as well. So it's a really great and easy material to use.
If you've seen the video at the top of the Glowforge homepage, that's the globe that you see in the video. When it has a bulb in the middle, we don't have a bulb set in it right now, but when there's a bulb in the middle, it actually glows. That particular globe is 4 years old, which is why you can see some scrapes on the side.
Yeah,
it's been with us through some
moved,
offices.
yeah.
We love it dearly. We'll never let it go.
No, yeah, don't get rid of it. It's incredible.
That building right there, which I believe is trademarked, so it's just a building.
Yeah.
But that building was actually created by one of our firmware engineers who proposed to his now wife at the top of said building, made a little mini version of it, and we loved it so much that he gave us permission to print a giant version of it,
awesome.
so you can see.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, you were talking about some of the materials and things that you see here?
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to talk more about how we've got some more slate examples here and a 3D print example. So one of the other questions we get is, how deep can we engrave and what does that look like? And this is kind of one of our examples of the 3D, where you've got that variable depth engrave. So this is super cool because you can see how the Glowforge has etched out all of the pieces to make a kind of raised and 3D look.
And that's the technique that the team at Fairy Doors uses as well in order to do that carving, that precision carving.
It
sounds really complicated, but you just give it a picture, and the darker areas are deeper, the lighter areas are shallower. And that's my phone.
Yes, I was just about to say, and here's your phone again. So this is, people always ask about metal, and yep, this is our CEO's own phone.
Yeah, I was one of the very, very first phones. Now there's actually settings, so you can that's a Pixel 2, you can put your phone in there, pick Pixel 2 from the drop down, and all the correct settings are in place.
Yeah,
and what is that ridiculous, incredibly complex, what are we looking at here?
All right, well, I think you can talk about this more than I can, but I believe this is a Magic the Gathering organization set?
That is what I'm told. I'm a different flavor of geek. I'm not a Magic the Gathering player. I have built Dungeons and Dragons things with my Glowforge before, but I believe this all wraps up and then unfurls, and you have cards and dice and everything else.
Yeah, it's very cool. Mix of wood and leather.
In fact, one of my favorite Glowforge creators, Devin LaRue on Instagram, has been doing custom maps with her Glowforge. So she is a well-known fantasy map creator. If anyone's heard of the show Critical Role, famous YouTube show, she does the maps for them. And she has been doing maps for a long time now. She's actually engraving them on leather and other things. Her work with her Glowforge is amazing. And if I recall, she actually crowdfunded her Glowforge with orders from her fans and backers and is selling some of the results from that. But I don't think you can buy them because I believe she is now completely sold out and backed up for years.
Oh my
so
goodness.
You can look, I think it's DEVEN RUE on Instagram.
You would know better than me.
Well, we'll check and maybe we can pull it up on Shell. If Shell can find it, we'll pull it up and show you.
Yeah.
And see some of the amazing work that she's done. But that's just another flavor of where somebody is taking an idea that they have, a passion that they have. In her case, it was a full-blown business and transforming it with a Glowforge to be something even more than it was before.
Absolutely.
So I'm feeling like a slacker because we are not getting to enough questions.
I know, we need to answer more questions.
All right.
Well, I know that we were jumping around with the compact filter. Misty had a question about venting to the compact filter. What is the compact filter? Do I have to vent to the compact filter?
So you have two choices when you set up your Glowforge. You can put it near a window and you can vent to the outside, and it comes with everything you need to do that. Or our compact filter, which you can see on the floor here, it's about the size of a recycle bin. That lets you put it anywhere, so you don't need to put it near a window. And that's basically it. Plug into the filter or connect up to a window. About 2/3 of our customers use a window, about 1/3 use the filter, and then you're good to go. And I should point out at this point that our customers tell us it takes an average of less than 30 minutes from the time the box is sitting in front of them to when they're holding their first finished print.
Yeah,
so it is really easy to get set up. It is really easy to get started.
I actually have a funny story about that. So, when we start here at Glowforge, I've been here for about 4 months now. So, when I started, I didn't have a Glowforge, but we've got this incredible program called the Glowforge Sleepover, where employees can take the Glowforge home and basically get the customer experience to set one up and learn how to use it, so that I can actually tell you that it takes, less than 30 minutes to set up. So when I got my Glowforge home, unboxed it, it literally took me 20 minutes to start printing from the second I opened it up, and I was going slow. So, if I was super excited, if I was really excited and I tore open the Glowforge, it probably would have only taken me 10 minutes, but I wanted to make sure that everything was in its right place, set it up as carefully as I could, because it's not mine, but.
So I saw an urgent customer question come in. Does it print on food?
Oh
my gosh, it's so cool. So here we've got some macaroons. These are from literally the Starbucks out the window right there. And we just threw them in. They've been, set on set for a little bit, so they're a little beat up. You may have seen them in a video too. But it's really simple. You put them in. You can play around a little bit with the settings to get the right color that you want. But that's it. One of my favorite things is to engrave a chocolate bar. Like, you just throw it in there and you can do whatever sort of designs you want. I've engraved pancakes. And then another approach, if you use your Glowforge for a variety of materials, there might be dust or residue on it, so you don't want to eat food that's been in your Glowforge. So you can have a dedicated food Glowforge if you're really committed to Glowforging your food. But we have to recommend that you don't eat food that's been put in a multi-purpose Glowforge. So then what I'll do is I'll cut stencils. And so cut like a stencil out of paper and dust things with powdered sugar.
That's a good idea.
My kids love it when I go and do a stencil and then put cinnamon on the top of hot chocolate or cocoa powder. So there's lots of ways that you can go create that. We also have customers who will create things in their Glowforge and then mold it. So I did this once with coins, to make chocolate coins with my kids. And we engraved the coins on a Glowforge. They drew it. We used the trace that you saw before to engrave it. And then I think it was like 15 bucks on Amazon. There's a silicone where you pour it over, pop the coin out, and then you mold chocolate into the silicone, and you can pop out lots of them. So you pour in chocolate, let it harden, pop it out, do another one. So it's really quick to produce those.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of questions about materials too, and I know one of the questions is always like rubber, silicone, and there are a whole ton of materials that you can use as long as they're CO2 laser compatible, which you'll have to do a little bit of research, but it's really easy with our Glowforge community, especially on like community.glowforge.com. That's like one of my favorite places to go to. I'm always looking through there to see examples. People are sharing settings. Like, we've just got such a great community.
It is one of the nicest places on the internet. It is strange how incredibly delightful people are on community.glowforge.com. We have an internal saying, we have the best customers. And it's so true. People are so helpful and thoughtful and generous. And if you post with an idea or a question or a problem, you'll generally have somebody answering it for you in under 30 minutes there. So it's an incredible way. Somebody was asking, can I engrave on things I already have, like belt buckles, laptops, flasks, etc.? And I think the answer is, oh heck yeah. As long as they're laser compatible, and you need to check with the manufacturer to be sure they are. There's a whole host of things. Metals are generally, some of them won't mark. So if you get like stainless steel, you'll have to spray it with a spray first. But anodized aluminum marks really well. Blackened steel works really well. There's a whole host that do. We have some devices that are already set in the interface. For example, some iPhones, you can just pick from the drop down. It'll have all the settings already. There was a question about flasks. I think we might have a flask around here somewhere.
I think maybe it was taken away.
We're looking at our set.
No.
Yes, you can engrave flasks. We've done it lots of times. It comes out amazing. Even titanium You can get these cool camping titanium things, and they look amazing when you engrave them. So there's a whole host of products that you can do. Leather works really well for cutting and engraving. So yeah, buying things, commercial products, engraving them, or taking your own personal things and really transforming them. You've probably even seen in the video, we have the settings for some popular MacBooks. You, again, pick them from the drop down and away you go. Tattoo your laptop or phone.
Yeah. For those of you tuning in, we designed a little bit earlier on Microsoft PowerPoint.
Yes.
And so because of that, we've got some things to pull now. So we did a glass coaster and a slate coaster with a monogram, and so now we're
things I
pulling it
learned
out
live
now.
on air. This is backwards because it looks so cool
The other
way.
Yeah.
There we go.
So cool.
So this is a monogram on this glass coaster. And these are incredibly inexpensive to buy online, but you put something on this and it's transformative. It just looks so amazing. It's so personal and wonderful. And the print time for this is about 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was really quick. I did one of my monogrammed initials with all the other glass stuff sitting on my desk right now. I think mine took me like 5 minutes. So, but yeah, it was very
they're
quick.
really fast and easy.
Yeah.
The bigger the print, the longer it takes.
Yes.
So something
Yeah.
like this is just a few minutes.
Yeah, very, very quick. So, but I was talking about the designing that we were doing earlier because I know we get a lot of questions about design, and so I just wanted to make sure that we talked about it for those of you who are tuning in. So we were talking about, you know, do I need to be a designer to design anything for my Glowforge, or can I just start picking it up and, you know, draw something? I think, you know, we've shown that you can literally take your idea from your head, draw it on a piece of paper, and then bring it to life within minutes.
Yeah, we had somebody just say, do I have to be a designer? No. In fact, I would say, I think we did a survey, and the majority of our customers do not consider themselves to be designers. They consider, I think, creators, artists, engineers, teachers, parents were some of the ways people describe themselves. Designer was just one of many, and that's because there are so many ways that you can create for the Glowforge. You can create with a pen and paper. You can create with digital tools. You can download free designs from the internet, and there's scores. If you go to community.glowforge.com and look in free laser designs, you will find hundreds. I think now we're up to thousands of different designs.
Yeah, those
By the way,
are
for
incredible.
context, there have been over 3 million creations with Glowforge printers to date. More than 3 million creations. So there are more ways to create and more creators than you can possibly imagine. And if you're not a designer, no problem. I have no design skills whatsoever. My personal party trick, the way I design stuff, is I will go and take a piece of architecture, and then I will go and like put the picture on there, and then I'll draw lines over it, and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool design, and then I'll go print whatever that is and make a box out of it or something like that. Making a box means putting squares around it. But it's really simple and straightforward to create with the Glowforge, and it's so easy to get inspired by looking at things like our community forum, like we talked about, by looking at your favorite social networks, or by looking at probably my favorite place to look is the Glowforge hashtag on Instagram.
Yeah.
Could we pull that up on your machine for a second?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but we have over 30,000 posts on there now.
Oh
So our
my gosh.
Glowforge owners have been creating like crazy. I mean, you said 3 million prints, but you know.
This is 1% of them that you're about to see.
Exactly, yeah, just a small fraction of them.
Oh, there's
but
a great example of somebody who's taken an architectural design and gone and transformed it into a totally different medium. I think that's the rose window of Notre Dame Cathedral, which I only recognize because I made a coaster out of the same design.
Oh, it's beautiful. I don't blame you.
That was for a school fundraiser. So the variety and complexity. So actually, just go back 1 second. So I'm looking at Amazing Spider-Man. I'm looking at custom pencils for school. I'm looking at earrings, and I don't even know what those things are on either side. And that's just a momentary day in the life of a Glowforge owner and what they're creating. Home Sweet Home, or Purple Carrot, was that? It looks like somebody's creating a jewelry business. Purple Carrot Company, earrings.
Yeah.
And then, oh wow, Stephen just asked, what's the most unusual project you've seen? I got one. There are some crazy ones. We have a heart surgeon who's making trainers for his students.
Oh, wow.
We have people like every walk of life. But I think my recent favorite was on Twitter. Somebody actually saved a robin. So
I think it was a whole family
Shell,
of
I know you
robins.
know what I'm talking about. A whole family of robins. Are we able to pull this up? Okay. So this came around on our internal Slack channel. Somebody posted this incredible story of these robins who were trapped in the window well, and he used his Glowforge to create stairs to get them out, but they didn't come out right away.
They
So
wanted
the
to hang
mama
out in there.
robin was delivering food to them. Yes, they're chilling, and mom's bringing snacks. And so that's the ladder that this Glowforge creator made, and then put it in the window well. Little baby robins started hopping up. Mama comes in, drops off food for them, and made it the rest of the way up. And I think this had a happy ending where they all came out, and the Robin family lived happily ever after.
I also just want to mention that, you know, this is Twitter, this is someone else's Twitter account, you know, this wasn't staged by us at all. So if you see anything on hashtag Glowforge, you know, that was maybe a little bit inappropriate. That was definitely unplanned, live.
This is just the live feed of Glowforge creativity in the world. And whether it's
Absolutely.
saving robins or starting businesses, the amazing thing about Glowforge ownership is that it unlocks that for you. It unlocks your passion. It unlocks your ideas. It unlocks your kids, your friends, your family. Those relationships and those ideas that swirl around you can come to physical life with a Glowforge in a way that no other tool can.
Well, speaking of physical, I think it's time to do another physical print.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do some
Absolutely.
dominoes.
Dominoes.
Yes.
What a great idea. All right, Shell, you've got some dominoes for us?
All right.
Dominoes or the trestle?
So this is a design you created already with Adobe Illustrator, and you're going to copy and paste. Do you want to throw some material in there?
Yeah. What are we going to be making this out of?
Are we doing
Want
dominoes
some-
or trestle?
We can do the trestle.
We're going to do the trestle.
All right,
Fantastic.
trestle
All right.
instead? Okay.
So this is a spinner that's actually going to be snapped together out of wooden pieces.
Yeah.
And so we got a piece of proof-grade plywood here.
Yep.
The sticker in the corner is how the Glowforge automatically identifies it.
Yep.
We'll throw it in the Glowforge Basic
Yeah.
and just slide that right
Okay,
in
put that down.
and snap it right down. There we go. And close the lid. And of course, when the lid closes, it automatically takes a picture. It's going to recognize the material. You're going to see in just a second, the picture of the material will appear, and it'll switch from unknown to saying that it's medium cherry plywood. There we go. So Shell drags it into place and clicks print. And that's really all it's about. Now, we did skip one thing that might be worthwhile. While it's setting up, do you want to go back and show the catalog? So the catalog is right here, you can see, gives a whole bunch of designs that are ready to print, that are guaranteed to work every time, that you can buy on a per print or unlimited basis. So this one we purchased from the catalog. We've gone in and set it up. And let's go over to push the button and do a print.
All right, it's time. I'll
There
do
it
the
goes.
honors
It
again.
glows. It goes.
Yep, it glows, it goes. You push it, and off, away, and printing we go. So easy.
We were talking about kids a minute ago.
Yeah.
And I know that one of our customers, Brandon, sent us in a video about what Glowforge has been like with his classroom.
Yeah, so Brandon is a teacher, and I think he teaches K through 8, and he has a makerspace, and a STEM class, I believe. And so, yeah, we have a video from him to talk a little bit more about what it looks like to have Glowforge with his students, and he's done some really incredible projects too. Like, I know his kids have so much fun with creating things. So let's cut to that video now from Brandon.
Let's take a look.
Western, and we've been using our Glowforge here at my school. And our favorite thing that we've made so far is our marble mazes. We've designed them in our software. Pop it in here, about 3 minutes, cut them out, press the magic button, and perfect.
This stuff is so inspirational.
Absolutely.
I have twin 10-year-olds, a boy and a girl, and the joy on their face and the excitement at actually having a tool that they can use to create stuff. I think actually one of my son's designs is here. I don't have one of my daughters here, but this was a rubber band launcher that he created in the shape of a dragon. He found a free online rubber band launcher design and then did this as his own take on it. And he sold these in school for 15 school bucks. I don't remember what they called them, like Monopoly money.
Yeah.
And sold out almost instantly, as you can imagine. The teacher was duly impressed, bought one, and then promptly banned them from the classroom.
Oh, because the rubber band
Because of
shooters.
rubber band
Oh,
launcher.
yeah, of course,
right?
yeah.
And you know, this is the sort of thing, he actually did this last year when he was 9. This is the sort of thing that a Glowforge in your life can unlock. The idea of going and making things instead of buying them. You know, in our society, it's only been in the past couple of 100 years that you went to a store to buy things. For most of human existence, if you wanted something, you made it yourself, or you went to your neighbors, or you went to your community. And things were made for their need. They weren't made in advance and stockpiled in warehouses in case somebody wanted them. They weren't shipped halfway around the world. Things were made by the people who wanted them in the communities where they were needed for the purpose in which they were needed. And we've lost that. Most homes don't have a way to create things for themselves. And that power, the power to imagine something and bring it into the world, is so important. Whether it's to launch a business, whether it's to express your artwork, whether it's to give gifts. That's what I love about this tool. I've been very lucky. I have an engineering degree. I have lots of tools and a full wood shop. I've done like soldering and electronics and everything else. And all that has gone to the side because this is the one tool that can quickly, that can simply, that can create beautiful things that people want and love at the push of a button. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here at Glowforge. That's why we're here right now, is because we want everybody in the world to have access to this. This is a product that we love so much because it brings out the best in you. And it brings out what you can do, whether it's coasters or lamps or giant, enormous dollhouses that I don't think we've even shown. We should go take a quick look at the dollhouse. This is something I could never do, but this is something that can be done.
Oh, we've even got it backlit today. Wow, it's something beautiful.
Yeah, somebody's home.
I've never seen it with the lights on. Why didn't you tell me there were lights on the back? See, you've been here for 4 months and you never know all the incredible things that have been created. You're always learning things. I feel like I'm always learning things too. And customers tell me all the time, like, oh, I never would have thought to use leather if I didn't have a Glowforge. Like, I never thought I'd be able to do these incredible things if I didn't have a Glowforge. And that's one of the things that gets me the most excited too, is that I get to see what you are doing, what you're posting on social, and all the incredible things that you think of. And it's just a great community of like inspiration, of people talking to each other, sharing their ideas, and getting to learn more about what it looks like to make things instead of just buy them.
Absolutely. And speaking of always learning, Danielle asked us, does your Glowforge need technical updates, and how do you do that? Here's how it works. Every couple of weeks, you go to use your Glowforge and it says, we've delivered amazing new things to you for free. You can click here to see a list. And we've made your Glowforge faster, we've improved the camera accuracy, we've added features to the interface to make it easier to do 3D engraving, we've done all sorts of innovations, and we continue to improve constantly. So when you own a Glowforge, you have lifetime access for free, forever, to our cloud service that lets you print whatever you want. And that gets updated constantly with the very best amazing technology that our engineers have to offer. So you don't do anything, you just wake up and your Glowforge wakes up and it is magically better.
Yes, yeah, no, it's incredible. But speaking of the things that are the same, so the Glowforge web interface is the same for any Glowforge owner, but Laura Lee asked the question, how do I know which Glowforge is right for me? So Basic, Plus, or Pro?
Basic, Plus, Pro. All right, so a Glowforge Basic can make almost anything you see here. It's incredibly easy to use, it's fast to set up, it's powerful, it can work on all the different materials, it has a 40-watt laser, it's compatible with the Glowforge compact filter, and most of what you've seen here, the Glowforge Basic can do. But the Plus upgrades the laser tube power to 45 watts, which means it is 20% faster when cutting. It has upgraded optics, which contribute to the speed. It has a double warranty, so you can, you've got the full protection for the full 12 months. And that warranty is completely end-to-end. It includes the laser tube, it includes the mechanical systems, it even includes the materials, the Proofgrade materials that you get with your Glowforge. So the Pro is the final and ultimate upgrade. It has everything that the Plus has, but it adds solid-state cooling, which lets you run all day long. So if it's at room temperature and you're running your Basic or Plus, after a while they'll pause to cool off. After like 45 minutes of printing, it'll pause for a while and then restart. It doesn't harm your print, but it takes longer because it has to pause to cool.
Yeah.
The Pro has an advanced solid-state cooling system so that it can run for longer, and you can run all day without any sort of pauses. And it has the Pro pass-through. The Pro pass-through is a slot in the front and the back. It's the reason that the Pro is a Class 4 laser device, because it lets you use truly enormous materials. You put in a giant sheet of material, start your print, slide it forward, continue your print, slide it forward, finish your print, And that's how you can make things that are like furniture, that are spectacular and gigantic out of a single piece of material.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've got our content designer running over to grab us
the giraffe!
giant giraffe.
You love giraffes.
I do
know this
love
about
giraffes,
you
yeah.
because you told me earlier in this live stream. So this is, as you can see, one continuous piece of proof grade cherry. It's just gorgeous. It's also highlighted with acrylic and some walnut. And so you put this as a growth chart on the wall so you can measure your kids. Oh my gosh, my kids are right here. They've almost outgrown the giraffe.
You've outgrown the giraffe. Oh no, that's so funny. Renee asked a question. I have no experience with lasers. How user-friendly is it? And I think I'm going to take this question because when I started at Glowforge 4 months ago, I had no experience with lasers. I had no idea what a Glowforge was before I did my interview. I came into it and I looked at what you did and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And we do something here where like a short demo where we have, candidates come in, do the demo, which is really cool. And I was sold from there on. I was like, I need to work here. I need to get my hands on a Glowforge and make things because it's incredible. And I look at all these things around here at the office and having no experience with lasers, I think, wow, I can do this. I could make that. It's actually easy, but it looks incredible. I know it looks really complex and kind of scary and intimidating sometimes, but it's really not. And, take it from someone who had zero experience, it's very easy, and I promise you can do it.
Yeah, and this isn't like a cooking show where like, oh, here's this thing, and then like 20 people behind the scenes are doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Or Home Improvement, that's my favorite, where they're like, we're just gonna saw this board, and here's your closet.
Yeah.
You saw it all. Like, there's no cut to black. You put the material in, you put a drawing in, or you take a PDF and drop it, or you copy and paste. You put the stuff in place by clicking and dragging it. You click print on the computer, you click print on the Glowforge, and you're done.
Yep,
it does all the work for you. Then if you want to make another one, you just say copy, paste, and do it again. And you can make dozens of products all at once, or you can make one thing that nobody's ever going to create again. It's totally one of a kind.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got some questions about if I order my Glowforge today, how long will it take to get it?
Oh yeah, so Glowforge Basic, I think we're back ordered to 21 days right now. About 21 days. The Glowforge Basic and Pro are at 10 or 7? 10 for Plus and 7 for Pro. And all those will get out to you. We'll dispatch as soon as you place your order, as soon as we've got inventory. I should also mention that right now, the Plus and the Pro are offering free shipping. So you can get some real savings, you can get it quicker, and there's some savings that, because we appreciate so much you spending all this time with us, we're going to make available to you.
Yeah.
So I'll give it now and then we'll do it again.
Yeah.
It is glowforge.com/August live discount. All one word. That's glowforge.com/August live discount. And if you go to that address, you can order until the end of the month. As long as it's still August, you got a couple days. What day is it? You got a couple days.
Yeah, a couple days. Just a few. It's very short.
And you can save $100 off a Basic. You can save $250 off of the Plus, and you can save $500 off the price of a Glowforge Pro. So again, that's glowforge.com/August live discount as a thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for spending all of your time with us and being here with us while we're printing. It's a lot of fun for us to get to show basically the magic of Glowforge to you and everyone who wants to take the time to see what we're doing, because we're really passionate about it. Everyone here on set is passionate about it. But let's do some cooking TV magic.
Yeah, we are going to have to do the cooking show thing. Let's get over here. We can see
it's
finishing up the tool holder, but 14 seconds and the tool holder will be finished, but instead of snapping it all together, which will take us over time, we will, through the magic of television, cut to the finished tool holder that sits on my desk. I literally stole this off of my desk on the way up here, and you can see this is made entirely from proof grade material. Even the spinner is engraved from wood. So that's what we just printed. And that's what's so incredible about Glowforge. You can create something from your imagination. You can take free designs from our community. You can buy prints from the catalog. You can create gifts. You can create businesses. You can create toys for your children. You can create art for the walls. You can create decor for your home. It is entirely up to you what you want to do with it, and you will find inspiration to do almost anything.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've got time for one kind of wrap-up question. So, something I always like to ask you, because you are the best person to answer this, is if you could say one thing, one piece of advice about getting your Glowforge, what would it be?
Oh gosh, put me on the spot. I think it's just don't sell yourself short. So often I hear people say, because I talk to folks before they buy, if you email danshapiro@glowforge.com, I get that. Our customer success team gets it too, but I do read them all, and I reply to a lot of them. And people come in and they say, I don't know if I should do this, and I keep track. And they come in and they order, and they're not sure if they're creative enough, they're not sure if they know how to use technology, they're not sure what it is. And I never say, don't worry, it'll be fine. Yeah. Try to point them to the right resources so that they can learn what it's about, resources like you have here today.
Yeah.
I have yet to have anybody regret their decision. I've yet to have anybody come back and say, I couldn't figure it out, I couldn't make it work, I wasn't creative enough. Because when you have this tool, when you have this technology, and when you have the inspiration of the community that supports you as a Glowforge owner, you cannot fail but to make things that bring joy and delight, whether it's that engraved number 2 pencil for teacher that we saw, or whether it's that amazing dollhouse, whether it's the little earrings that we saw that a kid was making for their mom in the Instagram feed, or whether it's these unbelievable, I can't even quite figure out how they made them on their Glowforge fairy doors. That's the inspiration that's inside each and every one of us, and that this tool can bring to life.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give that discount one more time. I think it's on screen, but if you just click that link, you will be able to get your discount of $100 off of a basic, $250 off of a plus, or $500 off of a pro. And we're available all the time to answer questions. You can reach out to me on any of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You'll talk directly with me. So you'll see a little dash Ellen. I promise it's me. I do go through, read all the comments.
Honestly, if there's not a dash Ellen, it's usually me.
Yeah, probably.
I'll sneak in sometimes.
Yeah, you do sneak in. So, but yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that we answered a whole ton of your questions today. And if you have any more questions, I love talking about the Glowforge. Dan loves talking about it. So, and you can always reach out to our customer success team, email us. There are tons of ways to reach us, and we love talking to you. So we love showing you examples and getting to print on camera for you.
Thanks so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.